I think all my life I've been trying to find some place to belong.
So maybe Zanzibar reflects myself a little bit in that Zanzibar is a place of extremes, and maybe I'm a person of extremes.
I have the opportunity to live in an absolutely beautiful place where I can see the Indian Ocean.
What makes Zanzibar very special for me is, first of all, the mix of the different cultures.
This is not the place where I was born, but I'm trying to be part of this place.
I noticed so many foreign women living in Zanzibar and just wondered what was the reason for them being here. Why did they come here? What was the catalyst for their moving or migrating to this part of the world, and particularly Africa, because many of the women were of European descent. And so this was the catalyst for this project. The 4-day workshops is a series of sessions designed to elicit certain memories from the women. Again, memories that will be elicited from the past that connect to why women make the choices that they make. Not everything is going to be about memories, but a lot of it is about just what being in a certain place means to you. So all of these things are what is involved in making this story for each of the women. And then each of these stories will be given to other women of the African diaspora who, with their own creative sensitivities, will turn these stories of the first women into presentations.
I'm going to share with you a lot of my memories, my bittersweet memories, memories that have made me the woman that I am. I have some good memories and some that aren't too good, but they all make me the strong woman that I have become.
So, is Zanzibar home? I would love Zanzibar to be home. Zanzibar fulfills what I need. So one of the reasons for leaving England was to leave my family, to live my own life, to become independent, to grow up.
I think I find the way to get close to these people and to the culture. I just started 1 month my drumming classes, and I like it very much, and I'm very surprised that I can make music, because I thought I could never make music.
What I really found here in Zanzibar for myself was the opportunity to start rebuilding a hotel really the way I wanted to have it. Here in Zanzibar I could create a place like that, which I, with my money, never could do.
I need to be near the water, and that is one thing that has been very important for me. I had a professor who always said to me, the first thing you want to do, Catherine, is place yourself. Where do you want to live? And I knew I wanted to live in Africa, and I knew I wanted to live near the water.
Zanzibar is the closest place that I've come to feeling like I belong someplace. I'm not saying it's the end of my journey, but it's another step in this journey that is helping me to deal with who I am as an individual and how I fit into the universe. Let's spend this time trying to tap into our inner child. Let's draw, let's play. We're going to use different media, and we're going to think about what certain words conjure up and draw pictures of them.
You know, so we have to always be aware that a journey is constant, and what we have to focus on is that process. So when we say we migrated, we didn't actually start from any place that we know of. It's just been a continuation from, you know, from the universe. It's just, you know, we're all energy. We're only energy, and we're only what the universe sends out to us. You know, so our journey and our growth is always continuous, and there is no beginning, there is no end. All there are is the process and factors along the way that determine where we go next. So one of the goals in an art therapy session is expression. You know, there's something in all of us that eventually comes out that we associate our self, our growth, or our progress to. Okay? And it's all about coming up with a symbol that represents us, that represents you as the person that you are now. And part of what art therapy does is it makes you go back into this childhood. And if you look at our drawings, they are very childlike. For those of us who know how, and for those of us who don't know how to draw, they're all still childlike. And it takes you just back into being free, knowing there's no right way and there's no wrong way. Before we were tainted through education, we were all free and we could express ourselves, and we didn't worry about whether somebody was going to judge it because we didn't know about judging. So it's a relaxation process, but it's also a way of just forcing you to go back and tap into that power of being a child again. Part of the goal is for us to be children and be free and be open and not worry about someone else judging us. You know, whatever we do, we just have to be free.
Let's talk about why we ended up coming to Zanzibar and what this place means to us. Why are you staying here? Why have we stayed here and not decided to try another place?
I'm curious for me, why as a woman did I find the strength, the whatever inside of me to say, I cannot be content living the so-called normal life, whatever it is. I need to go find my own way. And for me, it was to come to Africa. And I mean, here, it's almost the analogy of here I'm a big fish in a little pond because I'm unique and unusual, and in the US I'm just the same as everybody. But I also came here because financially I can live here and I can grow old and I won't be a burden to my children. And people would say to me, well, what are you going to do there? And I said, I have absolutely no idea, but I'll find out. I'll find out. And I had been focusing on small business and women, and I was looking at a number of different countries, and I always wanted to come back to East Africa. And I ran into someone who is on the board of directors of an NGO, a local NGO, Zaffa Plus, which is Zanzibar Association of People Living with HIV/AIDS. And I gave him my business card, and he said, oh my goodness, we have women who are starting businesses. Would you please come and work with them? And I found that I really like the atmosphere in Zanzibar. And I knew I wanted to live in Africa, and I knew I wanted to live near the water. So I really love that I am living here in this beautiful penthouse where I can see the Indian Ocean. And I love living in Stone Town because in many ways, for me, it's like a small village or a college campus. You know, for me to walk 10 minutes from my side of town to the other can take up to an hour because I keep running into people that I know. And I appreciate that I'm able to walk down the street and people know who I am. They say, Jumbo, how are you? And I feel cared about. It is important for me to feel cared about and to be a part of. I am a part of Zanzibar.
In America, everybody is so focused on trying to get ahead, trying to make a dollar, trying to impress somebody, trying to be in this corporate world. As an African American, you never really have a place there. So I always felt that if I came someplace in Africa, and I didn't know where I was going to come to, but I felt that if I was here on the continent, then perhaps that I would be able to find my own place, I'd be able to find my home. Zanzibar for me is the safest place that I have been. I can relax, I can do my artwork. You know, in my art, I try to focus on energy, on the energy of people and how they interact with the environment. You know, the colors of the environment, the effect of the sun on the environment. So a place like this is very conducive to my work and my work growing, and it's very conducive to my personal self-growth. I'm able to make more of an impact, I feel, because it's more crucial here that people have the skills that I'm able to pass on. And it's the mission of our organization to empower women, to empower youth, to provide them with the skills that they need to make a comfortable and a better quality of life for themselves. For me, Zanzibar is the closest place that I have found that feels like home. Now I am putting down roots. I have an incredible husband who is Zanzibari, who I love intensely, and our mission is the same. When I first came to Mangapwani, when I first visited this area, I knew that this was a place where I wanted to be because it was pure, it was natural, and the historical relevance, it called to me. You know, the slave caves, the first time I visited those caves, I felt I was so emotional and I was so overwhelmed that I had to come back here. This is probably where I'm going to end up staying.
I've been in many places. I've been in Canary Islands, and then I've been in Madrid, I've been in Palma de Mallorca for 2 years, and then we came here. I was supposed to come only for 1 year. We're 5 years now. And I discovered that it's very good for me to be here. I'm growing up a lot with my work, and I have the time for doing it, that it's very important, that I don't have to work, so I can organize my time with my kids and for painting. So first of all, the first thing that inspires me in Zanzibar are the colors. I mean, this is great. The colors are amazing. You can find colors everywhere. Even if you are on I don't know where, you can see the women wearing these kangas with beautiful colors, and Zanzibar is all colors. And then, of course, the people. Even if the women are Muslim women that are wearing this bui and this covering, and this, you can see that they look happy. They don't look like sad people. Not like in other Muslim countries that you can see that the women are suffering. I think I'm not painting sad paintings. Always happy colors. I'm always painting women. Sometimes I change, of course, my theme. I paint another things, but I go back to the same thing. I'm always painting women. Zanzibar impressed me always, always.
Ever since I was small, I've travelled in some way or another. I've migrated. Maybe it was trying to leave home or trying to come home. I'm not quite sure. But I feel very settled in Zanzibar. It's a place which gives you permission to really be yourself and to follow your joy. Zanzibar is a place to follow your joy. I was living in England and I decided that I wanted to see the world, but I didn't want to be a tourist. And so rather than be a tourist, I wanted to stay in one place for a long time and get involved in the culture. So it's very inclusive and people make a huge effort to look beautiful, to make sure that all the food is prepared, that everybody's involved. It's also a culture where people, they're fine just sitting around, talking, sharing food together and just discussing life, the universe and everything, which I think is very important. I married a Zanzibari. When he died of cholera, and it really made me think about, am I here because of my husband and the man I'm in love with, or am I here because of the place? And I realised that really it's the whole of Zanzibar that I'm enchanted, I'm enamoured with. All the things that make up Zanzibar, all the things that are important to me in my life, which I don't have in London. But most important really is the community here and the environment. It's a beautiful environment and it's not been destroyed yet. And for example, with the Chumbe Island project, ecotourism, that's the way forward. If Zanzibar moves forward towards ecotourism, then it'll preserve and conserve its environment.
I met Africa already when I was very young. As a child, I had an aunt. She was working in Middle Africa, in Congo. Later, I had the opportunity to visit her when I was around 20 years in Africa, which was really a great experience for me. I really liked the atmosphere, the smell of Africa. It was really doing something with me. But then my life was going on. I had a job and I did some more studies, and I came on a point that I thought, oh, is this my life? And I really felt like coming on time to make a decision to try to move to Zanzibar. What makes Zanzibar very special for me is first of all, the mix of the different cultures. It's an African culture, it's an Arabic culture, it's Indian culture. And now with more people like me coming, also Western culture, which makes Zanzibar very special. Then it has also a very mysterious part. Seeing all those Zanzibarian ladies walking in their bui, the black dresses, especially in the evening when the sun goes down, it gives a very mysterious atmosphere. And although Zanzibar is a Muslim country, it's a very open and free community. So also as a woman, I feel very free here. I can walk around everywhere and in the way I want to walk around. I'm really very proud that I here in Zanzibar can have my own business, have my own hotel, that I can manage it on my own, which I, with my money, never could do in a Western country.
Events from our past, those things, they set the path that we're going to take in our future.
Have overcome many horrific things, okay, and many things that could have really, truly psychologically damaged us.
I mean, if I have to speak about my past, I have to speak about a lot of things.
I am a woman who has overcome many obstacles in my life.
Because everything was so safe. There were no feelings. And then suddenly I really felt in a very deep...
My journey to Zanzibar really is a mixture of wanting to travel since I was tiny and then also wanting to be independent from my family, which was fairly constraining.
I left home when I was 14 years old, and I knew that I was destined for greater things than to be discriminated against and to be abused and to be part of a family that didn't love me.
But only there is one episode of my life that really made me live. It was when I knew Daniela's father, and I have lots of bad things when we were together,
I'm an abuse survivor. My marriage was very difficult. When I divorced, my children were 2 and 6. I had very little money. How was I going to get work? How was I going to take care of my children? And how was I going to feed them?
I don't want to see my family. And I was not... They didn't encourage me to show my feelings. In my family, you were so pressed to keep all your emotions down and being yourself. No, It was like a schooling and training of not being yourself.
So let's go back, and we want to think about our past. We want to conjure up those memories that would explain why you set off on this particular journey and how you ended up in this place at this time.
We're grateful for our memories. We're grateful that we have survived. We are all survivors. And we are going to make survivors of other sisters and mothers and daughters. Are we okay?
Yeah.
Yes. It's good to cry. I love playing toes.
Isn't that the best?
God, you're strong, girl. Yeah. Look, she's pushing me. Tell your story. And, you know, the wonderful thing is you can get as graphic or as simple as you want it, because when it's interpreted, you know, it'll be different. Okay? But tell your story, because these stories, they need to be told.
Sikuwahi kuwa na pahala pa mimi mwenyewe kupaita ni salama. Pahala ambapo eti mtu mzima hangekuwa na ruhusa ya kuweza kuugusa mwili wangu na kunikashifu kwa mabusu yaliyojaa harufu za pombe na sigara. Pahala ambapo eti sheria inaelekeza kaka yangu hangekuwa na ruhusa ya kuniburuza kizani na kunifanya atakavyo. Ndani ya miaka 10 niliweza kuolewa mara 2, nikazaa mtoto mmoja. Nimeishi naye majimbo 4 tofauti. Nimefanya kazi 20, wanaume wa kila aina.
If I go back to when I was very small, the time that my sister and I had attention from my father was when he taught us to dance to his music, and he played the violin. And so, of course, me and my sister both wanted to learn the violin so that we could be closer to our father.
My mother's voice sounds very old on the telephone. It is the first time that she has called me in over 6 months. Within 30 seconds, she has managed to rile, irritate, and upset me, and remind me of all of the constraints and obligations that I have left behind in England. What was I leaving behind? Cold, wet, grey pavements, people who find it difficult to meet and greet strangers, a regulated life with few choices and even less flexibility.
My father was an alcoholic. My mother was not present. My father was an alcoholic. My mother was not present.
You know, there's many women, by us sharing these stories, that we're going to help. Let's remember that.
Could believe that.
I mean, course for exercise for giving birth better. So we were at the room, and I was making my exercises, and I was really big, my stomach, and I was lying on the floor trying to make these exercises. And he came, he was sometimes beating me, and I was so young. I was 20 years. I didn't know what to do in that moment.
And this is who I am. I mean, this is who I am and who I have spent my adult life coming to terms with. I'm an incest survivor.
As a child, I had been molested by my brother. And my mother? My mother did nothing to protect me. I began to think that my mother couldn't love me. And if my own mother didn't love me, then who could?
My mother had been an alcoholic all my life. And I was trying to understand my rage at my mother. And I wrote her a fuck you letter.
I had become an alcoholic and a drug addict at age 15. I was married at a very young age. I was so very young. I became a frightened and powerless woman, married to a man who abused me, who controlled my every move. And I abdicated all responsibility. I allowed my husband, another human being, to define me. I put on a mask, terrified that if people saw who I really was, they wouldn't want to have anything to do with me.
Work is who I am. And I thought people would appreciate me more if I worked very hard. I was around 40, and I met this man, and after about 2 months, I became pregnant. My biological clock was tick, 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 ticking. Oh no. I went to the hospital and it was confirmed. I had miscarried. I probably wouldn't have another chance to have a baby, to be a mother.
This boyfriend, he was always late. Situation was clear. We went back, he dropped me home and he was gone again. I really missed that part in my life, to have children.
This was a door opening for me. We broke apart after about 3 months. And I felt strength in the breaking apart of our relationship. I was ready to move on. And I might even get a chance to go back to Africa. This has been an experience, sister, beyond my imaginings. You know, when I knew that so many women were going to get together and interpret these fantastic stories, I had no idea they would be so dramatic. I had no idea they would be so creative. These young women have opened my mind up. They have blown my mind. I'm feeling good. I can't wait to get back to Arusha and try some of the same things. Woo!
When I saw Nadia's presentation of my story in Kiswahili, it was so important for me because I think the life that I've lived, other women here in Zanzibar have also experienced a lot of the same things. I was brought to tears when I heard Nadia talking about the story of my life. And not because it was about me, but because it was about somebody who faced a lot of challenges and was always searching for answers and trying to find ways to get above the situation that she was born into.
During the performance, Lisette knew that it was going to be emotional for me, and she sat next to me and held my hand, which made me cry even more, and how tender that was that she cared enough for me to touch me in that way.
And telling that other people see what my life was, or things happened in my life, it is part of reaching this point. Later I thought about it, so we are really like sisters, having the same feelings. It's not different if you were born in Africa or born in Europe. It has, we must have had the same feelings about your experience in life.
And I think many women, we have the same path of trying to know who we are and getting to know ourselves and where do we fit in this world with other people, with our children, with our mates, and just with ourselves as human beings.
One of the things that I really saw was many of these stories were very, very tragic. They had very tragic things happen to them in their younger years, but every one of them had a happy ending. And so this is something I think that was uplifting to everyone who heard these stories, the fact that women are so empowered.
And that they can overcome and they can turn situations around and use those situations to empower themselves. They can use those situations to pull themselves up and out of circumstances. When I first conceived this idea, I really had no clue how it would grow. I had no idea that it would grow and that we would tap into the sources and the power that we have tapped into. I knew that I had chosen strong women, but I really had no clue that each of you were so very special. What we've accomplished this week, and I've said it over and over, is an opportunity that not so many women get. Is there something in our feminine energy that helps us to pull out of these situations? Is there something in us, is there something innate that forces us to look for that light